real WBC champion, or who's the real middleweight world champion, because the winner of the fight when she fights Claressa Shields will be the undisputed champion, just like Cecilia Brækhus is tonight. So we wanted to introduce Christina. This is her first time in Los Angeles. We wanted to give her some, introduce you guys to her, so you see her personality. You can see, naturally she's a champion in the ring, but she's also extremely marketable outside the ring. She has a number of endorsements and sponsors, and born in Kazakhstan, like Triple G, but moved with 1 year old to Germany, and she's lived in Germany ever since, and fought her career in Germany. She had the one fight in Detroit in the U.S., and now it looks like if Claressa is successful tonight, then that fight will happen sometime early part of next year, in 2018. All the details are still being worked out, exactly where and when. It will be on Showtime. So the female boxing, luckily or thankfully, is getting a lot of television exposure now. For HBO to put on Cecilia Brækhus as the main event is a huge statement. And Peter Nelson felt once we had Cecilia and Chocolatito originally, then to add Claressa Shields as a two-time Olympic champion. Chocolatito unfortunately got injured, but Gallo Estrada is capably filling in to his shoes. So with that, if you want to ask Christina any questions, or then I should be happy to answer, and I'll be happy to answer anything from my side. Just to be clear that TstreeT Promotions has Claressa Shields under contract. They have the contract also with Christina to fight Claressa Shields. So they would be the promoter of that event when they fight each other.
Would that fight on Showtime be on the Showbox brand or like regular Showtime?
That's I believe it would be on Showbox, but that hasn't been
Christina,
completely finalized.
how confident are you that you're not going to have the illness again?
So I feel much better now. It takes a little bit of time to recover, and I was in Austria to recover faster, and yeah, I got some illness, but that's happened. It's normal for sport. Sometimes it's like this, but I do always my best to be fast in the ring, and I want to fight, and I want to clear who's the number one, and I think I am the number one. My title is not given, it's earned. I have the fight against Carly Reese for the unification WBO and WBC champion. And so it's sad for me to see my belt is another hand, but I don't lose my belt, so I'm the champion. So we have to clear it in the ring. That's the only option.
Christina, Claressa, she's a two-time Olympian, so she has not much to prove as way of talent, but what makes you think you have an advantage over her? What do you think you can bring to the table that she hasn't seen before?
So I'm a long-time champion. I have 23-0 fights. I have a lot of experience. I'm much taller than all of my opponents and than Shields. So I use my reach very good, and my footwork is better than hers. So I know what I have to do in the ring.
She's actually been down before too, and I think the second to last fight she's been in, she was actually caught with an uppercut. Yeah, she was caught. Do you think that you have more pop in your punch than her because she hasn't had a knockout? Do you think that's also a thing that you can take advantage of as well?
Yes, I think so.
What will you be looking for when you watch her tonight?
I think it will be a good fight for her and Femke Hermans. But I think she will be winning because I want to beat her.
Christina, in your opinion, with these kind of big events for women's, what is the future of women's in boxing? Talking about this big event, what do you think about the future of women's in boxing?
So it's great tonight to see all these women on one event, and it's great to see how female boxing is growing and growing, and that makes the top.
How did you choose boxing? I mean, why boxing? Because I believe it's the only sport that you cannot play.
Yeah, you can't play boxing, that's right.
You cannot play boxing, right?
Yeah, but I love boxing. Boxing is my passion. I love these tough sport, like 1 against 1, who beats who, and I want to beat always my opponent.
Finally, give me your fight of the year, please. Fighter of the year. That's it. Only.
That's it.
Yeah, the fight of the year.
Many
Only
questions.
two. Only two.
Only 2. I think fighter of the year, I like Usyk very much.
Okay, I agree with you.
And the fight of the year, it's Triple G and Canelo.
Okay. Finally, something for.
Ask her who she thought won the Triple G.
Okay, can you repeat this?
I didn't rehearse the question.
Okay, for you, who won the fight? I mean, the second one.
The second one, it was very, very close, but my heart is broken because Triple G lose, and so it was very close. But in my opinion, Triple G won this fight.
Okay, finally, I have a channel who is dedicated mostly for Latin people and mostly Mexicans. I don't know if you
It's
know
great.
this.
I love Mexican
You have a
people.
lot of followers from Mexico. What can you tell to the Mexican people, please?
I don't speak Mexican.
No. English is good.
English is good.
English is good, yeah.
Yeah, I love all these Mexican fans, and I thank you for all your support. And the big fights are coming. My heart is
Stay
broken
tuned.
because Triple G lose, and so it was very close. But in my opinion, Triple G won this fight.
Okay, finally, I have a channel who is dedicated mostly for Latin people and mostly Mexicans. I don't know if you
It's
know
great.
this.
I love Mexican
You have a
people.
lot of followers from Mexico. What can you tell to the Mexican people, please?
I don't speak Mexican.
No. English is good.
English is good.
English is good, yeah.
Yeah, I love all these Mexican fans, and I thank you for all your support. And the big fights are coming, and stay tuned.
Okay, thank you.
You and Claressa shared a card together and had some words after that. What were your impressions of her
You think the last time in the ring
in the ring?
Yeah.
when we
When you fought on the same show
yeah.
afterwards when you were.
yeah, I think it was great to see something happens outside inside the ring when we stand in front of it, and so the fans was, oh yeah, something is happening, and yeah, that's boxing. It's sometimes it's showtime, sometimes it's only boxing victories or everything. So that's normal.
Did those words get personal, like more so than you thought, to the point that you dislike her more, or do you still respect her as a fighter in the ring?
Yeah, I respect her as a fighter, but yeah, I'm looking forward to fight her and to clear all these things who's open, and yeah,
Did some of
looking
those,
forward.
did some of her words, did they hurt you, or were they very personal to you? What was said back and forth, especially toward you?
That things are not hurts me not, no, because she can tell whatever she wants. I'm not that kind of people like, oh, you can try to provocate me, but these things don't touch me.
Okay.
But I know how I can provocate her.
Oh, you know how to provoke
Yeah,
her.
it's very easy.
How's that? Please
How is
share
that?
that with us.
What will be the biggest challenge when you fight her?
Again,
What will be your biggest challenge when you fight her in the ring?
she will be the biggest challenger, yeah.
Why is that? What makes her the biggest challenge?
Because we are 2 champions. She's a IBF and WB, IBF and
WBA.
WBA champion. And I think the people want to see this unification fight, who's the undisputed champion, and that will be the biggest fight and the game changer in boxing.
You're pretty familiar with the way she fights. How do you think you would adjust yourself to her style of fighting?
Again,
Like how would you prepare your strategy to fight her with her style?
So I watch her fight a long time, since I think the Olympics. My coach and I, we start to prepare something and start to do something in the training, because I know, since the few years, I know she will be my opponent in the future. And she's 2 times Olympic medalist. She's a great boxer and aggressive one. So I know what to do in the ring, because I prepare a long time, and so I'm a smarter one than her, and yeah.